raising your golf game today. Have you had a chance to get out this summer at all here?
No, I have not. In the summer, I try to put it away just to spend time with my wife and kids, just because once this time hits, it's kind of all ball. But I wouldn't be lying if I grabbed my 7-iron and was just kind of in the house. But no, not a whole lot.
Is it a 7-iron to Waddle in the corner over there?
Probably more like a 5-iron to him.
Can you tell us about that play a little bit more?
Yeah, that guy's unbelievable. Yeah, we just ran this little concept. Reek had a curl. Cater sat on Reek, gave us the pylon, and kind of one thing with those guys is there's no out throwing them, so you can throw it as far as you can and they will get it. And Waddle showed what he's so good at, is tracking the balls and making contested catches. It was unbelievable. I can't wait to watch it on film.
How did it feel to hit a big passing play like that in your first practice in front of your hometown fans?
Yeah, it was nice. It was nice. Yeah, I mean, just being back here, I was telling the quarterbacks walking out, hearing the fans, like, that was me when I was a little kid, like going over to the Davie campus and going to practices and watching them. And hell, I got to meet freaking Zach Thomas. Like, you told 12-year-old Mike White that he got to meet Zach Thomas, like he would lose his mind. So just the whole being back home, it's really cool. It's really cool.
Mike, obviously you were a priority for them. They signed you the first 2 hours of free agency. As they characterized it to you, did Mike say, we're signing you to be Tua's backup, or did Mike characterize it as it's going to be an open competition with you and Skyler for the number 2 job?
Yeah, we didn't really get too much into that. We just kind of got to talking about the offense and their philosophy and kind of how it differed from the Jets. Kind of the same base, but there's a lot of different nuances here. I think they're able to do with guys like Jalen and Tyreek and the speed that they have, and adding Braxton, Chosen, like just the whole room is so fast. So there's stuff that they get to do here that we didn't have the luxury of doing up there. So that's mainly what it was about, was just kind of the nuances and kind of catching up to speed with that.
And is your expectation that you'll be the number 2, or do you think you're in a highly competitive battle with Skyler for that job?
I just go out there and I try to complete my plays and run the offense to the best of my ability, and then come week 1 when they explain it to us, then we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Football's way too hard to start adding more stuff into it.
Mike, that Shanahan style offense is sprouted all across the NFL. Obviously, you had experience with that. You know, would you say the big nuance that you were mentioning in Miami is like pushing the ball downfield with those speed guys, or is there anything else that sticks out to you?
Yeah, pushing the ball downfield for sure, and then just the stuff that they can do with motions and how fast our guys are to be able to kind of cross the formation, snap the ball on the run, and still be able to get to those 20, 25-yard routes within the timing of the play is just, it's absurd. I've never seen anything like it. So, yeah, I think that's the main difference is what they can do. I mean, we look like a freaking 4x4 team out there. I remember watching, because there's a lot of crossover, obviously, when I was in New York, and we watched them a lot, and just the stuff that they would do, we were just like, oh my God. Like, we would try to emulate it in scout team, and you just can't. So I'd say that's the biggest thing.
Mike, what's your skill or skills that you think is best suited for Mike's offense?
I think just distributing the ball and getting the ball to the guys kind of accurately with yak angles is what we call it, yards after catch. And I think I'm learning a lot from Tua too. I think that's what Tua does at such a high level, and it's really impressive, just the anticipation and the accuracy, and you can tell he's just getting better, and it's only going to get better with more reps and more time in the offense. I mean, the numbers they put up last year for the first year in this offense is super impressive. So I truly believe it's only going to get better.
Are you pleased with your body of work, May, June, throws you've made the first 4 days of camp? You would assess it how overall, your overall body of work so far as a Dolphin?
Yeah, I would say there's some good and there's some that I can improve on. And I think a lot of it is just learning the guys and learning the offense. And shoot, this is only day 4 of camp, you know what I mean? And as much as we like to think that OTAs and mini camp are the same speed, it's just not. It's just different in training camp. So you try to build on the reps, the mental reps you get in OTAs and apply it here in training camp. But it's just if you start evaluating yourself after every game or every practice and start to look too much into it instead of just, all right, what did I do good? What do I need to improve on? Let's work on that next play. It's just the one thing I've learned, and this is going in year 6, is it just gets too hard. It's too mentally draining, and you'll fall into a ditch, like a mental ditch, whatever you want to call it, and it's hard to climb out of it.
Mike, you mentioned meeting Zach Thomas. Go ahead. You mentioned meeting Zach Thomas. Did you have something prepared for that moment?
No, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I went up there. I think Brett was trying to get me to come talk to you guys. And I was like, I have to go introduce myself to Zach Thomas first. Like, I can't do anything else. So I went there, and I had this whole thing like, hey, my name's Mike. Like, I'm a big fan, like all this. And he knew who I was, and like that threw me off. And he was like, oh, I was going to go talk to you at the sideline and when y'all were down here last year with New York, but you were talking to your family. I was like, listen, I know we don't know each other, but you can always interrupt me whenever I'm talking to anybody to come talk to me. So, no, it was really, really cool.
So quarterbacks have a different perspective on things. I'm wondering how well you know Eli Apple from playing against him or film study, and what do you think he brings to this secondary?
I was actually just talking to him on my way over here, and we immediately started talking about my first start against them for the Bengals. And he came up, he said, don't think I don't forget the 400 you put up on us. And I was like, to be honest, the most impressive thing I thought I did was catch the 2-point on you. So I showed him, I'm going to show him that picture. Maybe I'll have it printed out, put it in his locker of me catching and him just probably like 15 yards away. But I will tell him I caught it on him. But no, he's a great dude. He's been around a lot of ball. And one thing, too, is he's been on a lot of successful teams that have made runs. So he knows at the end of the day, that's our ultimate goal is making a run in the playoffs. And that's adding another veteran that knows what it takes, that's been there, done it, been in a locker room that's done it well and has veteran leaders. So anytime you can add a guy like that to the locker room, it's only going to benefit just the team and the defensive side of the ball.
How important was it for you guys as an offense to kind of bounce back today after what the defense did on Friday's practice?
Huge. I mean, that's the name of the game. That's football. You can go out and first scripted drive can go as planned. Next drive you go 3 and out, and the game doesn't stop there. You got to go out next drive, and that's football. It's ebbs and flows. That's what you want in a practice too. You don't want one side of the ball to be dominating the entire time, because at the end of the day we're gonna have to play other teams, and we're gonna be rooting for our defense. So whenever you can have that kind of back and forth throughout training camp, like we got them today, they'll get us tomorrow. You know what I mean? I think that makes it, one, competitive and fun, and two, it's good for the organization.
Mike, with the way all the South Florida sports teams, this has been a crazy year for South Florida sports. How ready is it for the Dolphins to just be that next team to have that successful postseason run?
Oh, I'm sure it's. I mean, as I can only speak for the locker room, and I think we all kind of recognize the timing of everything and what we have at hand and the opportunity that's in front of us. But you can't look too past it. You know, our goal tomorrow is to build upon what we did today, and I'm sure defensively their goal is to stop us tomorrow. And I think if you keep that one day mindset and you build on it, that's when good things come.
Thank you, Mike.
Thanks, guys.